Hey guys, how's everybody doing? It's a Wednesday night live, another Wednesday night live. And man, I don't know how tired everybody is, but I tell you, it's been a busy week for me, and it feels like it should be Friday already, and it's not. It's only Wednesday. Um, but I am glad everybody's here. We'll give people some time to get in. So far, I see Emily Graziano. I see Rex. And Rex is talking about, he says, I'm excited about the Patreon thing later. Rex is one of my new Patreon subscribers, and what I've started to do with my Patreon subscribers is they've started subscribing basically to be part of these private viewings that we're going to be doing. We're actually working on scheduling one. I believe it's going to be on the 24th of this month, or on the 23rd of this month, on a Friday about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be a private thing. It won't be able to be broadcast on YouTube. It's going to be private because we're going to be watching together and laughing together and cringing together at the Tom Schneider Kiss interview. And I'm having to do it private because I can't do it public. And so just due to the cost of me having to have that streaming software and things like that, and things I have to do and pay for that, I started getting people to come to Patreon, and it's the website is patreon.com / in my head, and Patreon, patreon.com / in my head. You go there and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, and you can sign up for more. You can come in. There's different levels you can come in on: $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, and you get different things. The more you pay a month, the more private and intimate things you get. Like some of those levels, you can ask me to make a video just for you, a question and answer just for you, a private one-on-one video where it's just question and answer. I know during this time, some people are still kind of shut in from COVID, and some people still like being kind of shut in, and so they're looking for one-on-one interaction. And it's just an opportunity for us to sit down and just talk as Kiss fans and talk about whatever. And I've had a couple of those already, just sitting down with people and talking, video chatting face to face. And so we're going to be doing the Tom Schneider, and I've got 2 people already in on that already. So that's 3 of us counting me, and I can have 7 more people in for that Tom Schneider. And what he's actually talking about is right after this video, for my Patreon subscribers, I'm sending them a link on the Patreon page. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you get a link where it's an after party, not really a party, but just an after hangout, just up to 30 minutes after, just to hang out and just talk about things. And that's exclusive for Patreons too. And if you'd like to get in on that, like I said, you can get in and I'm going to continue to do that along with my weekly updates and things like that. I'm going to continue to do that. You can get in on that for as little as $1 a month. You just have to go to patreon.com, create you an account, and just donate $1 a month or whatever. So see who all we have and that's if you want to do that. See all we have. We got Ronnie Parker, Dwight Manning, Emily Graziano, saying this album changed her life, Vanderhoff, my boy AJ Zetro, AA Ron is in the chat as well, saying ahoy ahoy. And so before we get started, if you don't know what I've gotten on, I have my limited edition. I don't even think you can get these anymore. Eric Carr shirt that was donated to me by Ed over at Click Tea Shop. And so this is in honor of Eric. His birthday was recently on the 12th. He would have been 71 years old. That's crazy. And he passed in 91. So it's hard to even fathom that he's been gone that long, that he's been gone 30 years. It's just crazy to even think something like that. But this shirt is from Click T Shop. Put it here above their banner. You can't get this shirt anymore. I've had people ask me, and a lot of his Eric stuff. If you want some Eric stuff, you need to go to Click T Shop, because he being Ed, recently announced that his contract with Eric's family is coming to a close. And so he's got a bunch of Eric stuff on there. And once it's gone, it's gone. So if you want some Eric stuff, like I said, you can't get this one because it was a limited edition, and I was honored to have it. And look how well this shirt has held up. I mean, it's just the greatest quality. It's held up so good. No cracks in it whatsoever in the white. It's just held up so great. Their quality, their stuff is real quality stuff. So Click T Shop, this is not sponsored. Ed's not paying me to do this. He's just a good guy that gave me a shirt, a couple shirts. He gave me my Demon shirt too. So anytime I wear those shirts to give back to him, I always like to mention clicktshop.com. And tell them when you make your order, tell them that Brandon from In My Head sent you. I don't get a kickback or nothing. I just want him to know that I am helping to support a fellow Kiss fan, and he gets it. If you go on his website and you look at the shirts that he makes, only Kiss fans get those shirts, and so he gets it. He's a fellow Kiss fan like us, and he gets it. All right. So it's good to see. There's AJ. Harmony memories. Eric is missed. Eric is definitely missed. It's one of those things. It's like what I want to make a what if video about. What if Eric wouldn't have passed? What if? Think about that, because it was a crucial time when Eric passed. It was right on the precipice, whatever you say it, the edge of the reunion. And what if Eric would have passed? What if Eric would have lived after they did the reunion? You know, they kind of just pushed Bruce to the side. I'm pretty sure they would have pushed Eric to the side as well. So what would have Revenge sounded like if the whole album would have been Eric? What if Carnival of Souls would have been Eric, and we would have had some input from Eric on that album? Those are two of my favorite albums. But what if Eric Carr would have played on those albums? What if Eric Carr would have got to sing, damn it, more than they let him sing? He had an amazing voice, and they let him sing live, and he didn't get to sing. He got to re-record Beth, which he was uncomfortable. It was cringe as hell for him to do that. And he got to sing Little Caesar, which is one of my favorite songs off of that album, if not my favorite song. I know a lot of it gets mixed reviews from the Kiss community, but I freaking love Little Caesar, not just because of Eric. But it's like with Bruce, I love I Walk Alone off of Carnival of Souls. It's one of my favorite songs off of that album, and one of my favorite songs from the non-makeup era also as well. It's not because it's Bruce, it's because it's a kick-ass song. But what if what would those two albums sounded like? What would it have looked like after they were done with the reunion and the farewell? You know, whenever Ace left the band and they brought in Tommy, you know, they didn't have a good relationship with Ace. So of course they're going to bring in Tommy, because I don't think they wanted to bring in Bruce. I don't think Bruce would have done it. But they brought in their painter and their gutter cleaner and their go-to boy, Tommy. But what about whenever they kicked Peter out again and brought back Eric Singer? Wouldn't it have been cool? It would have been cool as hell for them to bring Eric back as the Fox. Man, I would have went and seen that. Dude, and dudettes. Who in the comments, tell me, who would have not went and saw that lineup with, I mean, there was a brief moment in time there that Ace was playing with Eric Singer. What if that would have been Ace and Eric Carr on the drums as the Fox, in Fox makeup for the first time since the 80s? Because he got to wear the Fox makeup for just a short little bit of time. So, man, it would have been an awesome lineup to see Eric on the drums as the Fox, Ace as the spaceman. And, kudos to Gene and Paul for not bringing the Fox. That makeup back, that would have been sacrilegious. But what if they would have kept the makeup on? Would Eric have stayed in the band with Tommy? I'm pretty sure he would have. But I just wish they would. I've said this before, and you guys know, and I am going to get to Ace. This is an Origins album, but I'm dragging my feet to about 15 after. You know I do. It would have been really cool if they would have took the makeup off and had Bruce and Eric back in the band and just took over from there. I think it would have been really, really, really cool. So yeah, we'll see. Dwight Manning. Harmony Memory says, hell yeah. Dwight Manning says, Fox reunion. AJ says, hell yeah, I'd go. Carr was the best out of the three, in my opinion. A lot of people believe that, Aaron. That would have been a once-in-a-lifetime thing, Rex says, Harmony Memory says, and sing the Tanks again. The Tanks would have been awesome. All right, so with a couple more minutes. I've talked about this. This is what I picked up. I want to show something off. I picked this up in Tennessee when I was in Tennessee back in early June. I was there for a car show. I picked this up from a I don't know, one of those stores up there that kind of like a memories store. I talked about it. And I have this to go along with my other Kiss Colas. This is Kiss Cherry Cola Rock and Roll Over. See that? Focused on that. Kiss Cherry Cola. And it's got the Rock and Roll Over album cover on it. That's one of my favorite album covers. I love the Rock and Roll Over album cover. So yeah, so that's going to go. My other ones, I actually took some of my Kiss memorabilia back to work. Whenever I got my promotion and I got my own office last year, I took a lot of my Kiss stuff, some of my Kiss stuff, to work. I took my Pops, I took my tractor trailer, I took my Ace figurine, and I took some of my cups, and I took my Destroyer. And my, what's the root beer one? Destroyer and Love Gun. That doesn't seem right, but it might be. But I think I might take this to work and put it on my shelf where I have my other Kiss Colas. And I may eventually bring them all back, but I think I'm going to take this to work so it can hang out with its other like bottles. So, all righty. I've seen Dwight says, I've seen Eric Carr play live more than Peter Criss. Me too. As a matter of fact, I think Eric is the one I've seen the most. Eric Carr, we're speaking of. Because, Rex says, asks how many times you saw him. Eric says 5. Peter 3. Let's see. How many times have I seen? And then we'll get started. I saw Peter once in 79 on the Dynasty Tour. I saw him on the Reunion Tour. And I saw him on the Farewell Tour. So I've seen Peter 3 times. I saw Eric on the Creatures Tour, on the Lick It Up Tour, on the Animalized Tour, the Asylum Tour, and the Hot in the Shade Tour. So I saw Eric 5 times. So I saw Eric 5 times and Peter 3. And I've not seen Eric Singer live. I've not seen I saw Eric Singer for Revenge. I saw Eric Singer on the Revenge Tour. They didn't tour for Carnival of Souls, and I've not seen Eric on. I've not seen Kiss since Eric has been since he's been a drummer for him. I've never seen Eric with makeup on. Eric Singer. All right, so we're going to get into, we're 17 minutes in, 18 minutes in. We're going to get into Ace Frehley, Origins, Volume 1. So I'm going to go ahead and show that here, just so you guys are aware of what the album cover looks like if you've been under a rock somewhere. Ace Frehley, Origins, Volume 1. 11, let's see. How many tracks is on this thing? 12 tracks? Let's see, yeah. Now, wait a minute here. I've got, hold up. This is something, this is normally where I'd stop recording, but you guys are with me live. So I need to check something really quick. Hold on just 1 second. Give me just a minute. Cue the theme music. All right, I am missing a song for the panel. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I only have 11 songs for the panel. What song am I missing? All right, guys, just converse amongst yourselves for a second. Let me check my Survey Monkey, because I ain't missing a song for the panel. I only have 11 songs for the panel on my sheet. Man, the quality control in this place has really gone downhill. Who's supposed to see? I lost my producer. With Carla, and my quality control has just gone downhill. You'll need to email her and tell her we want her back. Let me check really quick. Sorry about this, but we got to get it right. We got to make sure we're right. Even if I got to make a correction on the fly, we have to make sure that we are right. What song am I missing? I wonder if I'm just missing the last one. Let's see. Give me just a second. I'm sorry, guys, but we got it. It's got to be right. It's got to be right. We will not accept anything less. Okay. Now, what song am I missing? I had to resort it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I know which one I'm missing. Give me just a second. Take a look at my Kiss room behind me. Okay. You know what? I would be embarrassed, but me and you guys have been together for so long. You know by now that we're friends, right? So I'm missing number 10. Number 10 is, draw an arrow over here. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm ready. See, I would have stopped recording and just went back to all right. So here we go. Origins for me was one of those albums that when it came out, I really liked Origins, and it was really cool to see Ace doing covers. And he's got some really good covers on here. As far as I'm concerned, I like all these songs. There's only just one song that doesn't really hit it for me. It doesn't really do anything for me. And there's a song on here that I know doesn't do things for most people that I actually quite enjoy. It kind of comes up in the middle of my list. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this album, I like seeing Ace do stuff like this and continue to do stuff like this. He's already done Origins Volume 2, which we will get to. We're doing Spaceman after this. And I'll tell that again later. But this was a good album. It's rocking. It's strong. Ace, the guitar is in it. Sounds really good. It's really loud. It's a really loudly recorded album. So, you know, it's all good as far as I'm concerned. There's a couple, like I said, there's a couple songs that are kind of weak-ish. And the song just doesn't do anything for me. So I didn't do any predictions on this one. What I basically did is I'm going to tell what you guys chose as a panel at that spot. And then I'm going to tell whatever song you chose. I'm going to talk about where I chose that song for me. And then I'll tell who chose that song as their number one song. And then we have some suggestions. You guys have been filling out the suggestions. I always, on every survey, leave a little spot for you to put a suggestion. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suggestions. Oh, yeah, thanks. The album cover's on the screen. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. There I am. All right. All right, so you guys are awesome. Still seeing the album cover. Look at all you guys. Quality control. Quality people. I love each and every one of you. All right, so let's get into the list. "12 tracks. Number 12. Coming in at number 12. Nobody picked this song as their favorite. Coming in at number 12, the panel chose Till the End of the Day. Till the End of the Day. And I think that's a, I don't know I don't know off the top of my head who sang all these songs. You guys are probably better than me. Until the End of the Day, the Beatles or something. I'm not sure. You guys put it in the chat. You guys, that's what you're here for. You're here to hang out with me and to also contribute. So put it in the chat. Till the End of the Day is what you chose at number 12. Nobody picked it as their favorite. Now, this is the one that I kind of like better than you guys do. I love his version of this song. And so Till the End of the Day, for me, is number 6. Good to see you, Dr. Light. Number 6, Till the End of the Day. That does sound right, Dark. The Kinks. The Kinks, there you go. Ray Davies, the Kinks. All right. Till the End of the Day is number 6 for me. It's halfway up through my list. I like it. I like that song. So you guys chose Till the End of the Day as 12. I chose it as number 6. Good to see you, Sublime. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this evening, sir. Number 11. You guys chose, one person picked it as your favorite. You guys chose for number 11, Wild Thing. Wild Thing for number 11 for you guys. Wild Thing for me is number 12. Wild Thing is the song that I'm just not really a big fan of his version of it. And nothing against Lita Ford, nothing against the song itself. It's just this kind of falls flat for me. So you guys picked Wild Thing as number 11. I picked it as number 12. And one person, David King, my friend from across the pond, across the big pond, picked Wild Thing as his number 1 song. Okay, number 10, the one that I missed earlier. Number 10, you guys picked for number 10 with nobody liking it as their favorite. You guys picked Magic Carpet Ride for number 10. Magic Carpet Ride for me, I love this version of Magic Carpet Ride. This is a perfect song for Ace to do, in my opinion. You guys picked it down low, but not me. I picked Magic Carpet Ride number 4 for me. I think Magic Carpet Ride really rocks, and there's only 3 songs that I would pick above Magic Carpet Ride on this album. And I would pick those 3 songs above any other song on this album. And we'll find out more about those 3 songs in a little bit. But Magic Carpet Ride, number 10 for you guys. Nobody Liking It is their favorite. Magic Carpet Ride, my number 4 pick. Okay, brings us to number 9. Number 9, one person picked it as their favorite. Let's see. You guys are saying, I love Magic Carpet Ride. I'm trying to catch the chat. I love Magic Carpet Ride. Darklight says better than original. Sublime says I agree. Emily says growing up I heard so many cover versions of this song I didn't know who the original band was. And Darklight says Steppenwolf. And I'm not a big fan. I don't like that whole big long solo that keyboard solo. That was a big thing back in the late 60s, early 70s, and the 60s in general, where they'd have these long instrumental parts to their albums and to their songs, and I wasn't a fan of that. So we're up to number 9. One person picked it as their favorite. Spanish Castle Magic, you guys picked for number 9. Spanish Castle Magic for me is number 11. It's one of those songs that it's okay as far as I'm concerned, but it's not a song that just kind of jumps out at me and makes me want to listen to it again, or I'm looking forward to it when it comes on. One person picked it as their favorite, though, Roger Bennett. Roger Bennett picked it as their favorite. You guys collectively picked it at number 9. I picked it at number 11 for me. Darklight says he loves Spanish Castle Magic. All right, so that brings us to number 8. 2 people picked this number 8 track as their favorite. For number 8, you guys picked Emerald as your number 8 track. I picked Emerald at number 8 too. Emerald, I just think it just rocks. I mean, it's just one of those rocking songs that is just really, really good. Let's see. Emerald, 2 people, Jesse Ray and Doyle Roush. Eric Doyle Roush picked it as their favorites. You guys picked it as number 8. I picked it as number 8. So, next, number 7. Number 7 track. One of you picked it as your favorite. Number 7, you picked Bring It On Home as your number 7 track. I picked Bring It On Home as my number 7 track. What a coincidence. Bring It On Home is, like I said, from 8 for me up, it just gets good, and then the top 3 get really good. But Bring It On Home is a great song. And one of you, Les Wadley, my boy Les, picked Bring It On Home as his favorite track on the album. You guys picked it at number 7. I picked it as number 7. That brings us to number 6. 3 of you picked the number 6 song as your favorite. For number 6, you collectively picked Street Fighting Man. Street Fighting Man as your number 6. It's down at number 9 for me. It's still a good song, but I like the other 8 better. It's nothing. That's actually not a slight against Street Fighting Man. I think it's the Stones, isn't the Stones Street Fighting Man? But Street Fighting Man is number 9 for me. It is number 6 for you collectively, and it is number 1 for Super Kiss 1300, Vinny Divine, and Dark Light. Dark Light. I'm actually on my list here. I've got you as Fark Light. Fark Light. That's gonna be your new name, Fark Light. So that could be our inside joke. 2000 Street Fighting Man. There you go, Fark Light. That's mine and Dark's new inside joke. Street Fighting Man. What the fark? I typed it wrong. Yep, D and F is right beside each other. Look at your keyboard. I fat fingered that. That's what we call it in the IT world. I fat fingered it. Yeah, so you guys, Super Kiss, Vinny Devine, and Farklight picked it as number one collectively. As a panel, you picked it as number 6, and I picked it as number 9. So that brings us to the top 5. 2 people picked the number 5 song as their favorite song. For number 5, you guys chose Cream's White Room. Cream's White Room is your number 5. And I picked White Room for me. White Room for me is number 10 because, believe it or not, I'm not the biggest fan of this song. I've never really been a fan of White Room. I know it rocks and stuff. I'm not denying that it rocks because it does. Ace's version, I think, is just as good as the original. And I know that may be sacrilege for some of you, but I love the way he sings it, that whole Ace, in the white room with black good. I mean, he doesn't sing it. He doesn't try to sing it the way Eric does. And I just think it sounds good. It sounds great, but it's just the song itself for me is a song that I just don't really care too much for. 2 people picked it as their favorite. Dwight Jr., 88, and Jason Mal, M-A-L, picked White Room as their favorite. You guys picked it collectively at number 5. I picked it as number 10 for me. So that brings us to number 4. I need to get some drink because, you know, when you're talking and your tongue starts sticking to the roof of your mouth, you start making that sound. No beer tonight. I'm trying to cut back. I've officially lost 45 pounds and I'm down to maybe 2 or 3 beers a week, which I know is sacrilege, but a lot of carbs in beers. Not a lot of calories, but a lot of carbs. So that brings us to number 4. 3 people picked the number 4 song as their number 1 song. And it starts getting good here, people. For number 4, you guys picked Rock and Roll Hell as your number 4 song. Rock and Roll Hell is my number 3 song. It's part of the Trinity at the top. If you know where I'm going, it's part of the Trinity at the top for me. So Rock and Roll Hell is my number 1. And Rock and Roll Hell is my number 3, not my number 1. Strike that. It's my number 3. And it is you guys' number 4. And 3 members, AJ Zetro in the house. AJ Zetro, Joel Pegg, Future Squash 767. It is their number 1 song on the album. And number 4 for us as a unit, and number 3 for me personally. Okay, so that brings us to the top 3. Believe it or not, only one person picked the number 3 song as their favorite, but it had just so much support from everybody else picking it as their second and their third, that in their fourth, it worked its way all the way up to number 3, but only one panelist picked the number 3 song as their favorite. That's kind of weird for it to be up this high. Cold Gin is your number 3. If you need something to cool you off, how about now? I think my mic got unplugged, and it's actually been behind me the whole time. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello, Verizon. Can you hear me now? What I was saying is, yeah, the sound went off. No sound, no sound. Okay. All right, let me back up. Cold Gin is your number 3. Only John B. Good picked it as his number 1. John B. Good picked it as his number 1. You guys picked it as number 3. I picked it as my number 2. So, man, we're just having all kinds of technology. Just on check. Checks in the mail. So yeah, it's just got me all kinds of flustered. I think what happened is my hand hit the microphone on the side of my laptop. So I'm looking really professional tonight, really professional. But I got my Eric shirt on, so hopefully Eric approves. Number 3, Cold Gin. John B. Good picked it as number 1. I picked it as number 2. Let me recap at this point in time before we get to the top 2 songs for the panel. Number 12, you guys picked Till the End of the Day. Number 11, Wild Thing. Number 10, Magic Carpet Ride. Number 9, Spanish Castle Magic. Number 8, Emerald. Number 7, Bring It On Home. Number 6, Street Fighting Man. Number 5, White Room. Number 4, Rock and Roll Hell. Number 3, Cold Gin. All right. This is mic number 1. This is mic number 1. Isn't this a lot of fun? You guys are tripping me. I love you. I love you all. So number 2, 5 people picked number 2. It's down to 2 songs. You know what they are. You know which one I've not said yet. 5 people picked the number 2 song as their number 1. Me included. Picked Parasite as their number 1 song. You guys picked it at number 2. Number 2 panel, Parasite. Number 1 for me. Number 1 in my heart. Parasite just kicks ass on this album. It just sounds so stinking good. I think it's the best sounding Ace Frehley led vocal on the album. So 5 people picked it as their favorite. Myself, Jeremy Kimona, Snake Hips 31, Raven FM, and Bill Sharp picked Parasite as their number 1 song. You guys picked it as number 2. And so that leaves us to the last track. Number 1, you guys picked Fire and Water as your number 1 song, the Paul Stanley lead vocal, Fire and Water. I picked Fire and Water for me all the way down at number 5. Now, and I still like it. It's like I said, my top 8 I love. The top 3 I stinking freaking love. The top 3. Fire and Water is just barely edged out by Magic Carpet Ride. Fire and Water, it's just kind of it's one of those songs that I'm not a huge fan of the song, but Paul and Ace working together on this song is what brings it up for me. If this would have been, if this would have been something a little different, like maybe Paul not doing the vocals on it, it would have been really probably lower down for me because I'm not the biggest fan of the song. 8 people picked it as their favorite. Jim Jones, Gregory Pegg, Logan Shevert, Jamie Dodger, Eddie Thompson, Miss Emily Graziano, and Jeff, and Darren Helliwell. So Dwight says Parasite was number 1 for him. Harmony Memory says, oh, hell yeah, I agree. And Emily says Fire and Water was the Kiss event of the year. We are so lucky the music video happened. Rex agrees. Sublime says, I forgot to participate, but my number 1 would have been Fire and Water. Ace should do Flaming Youth on Volume 3. That would be amazing. That's a pretty good idea. We may do that for a panel. We may do it for what Kiss songs, since he did 3 Kiss songs on this album, we would maybe cap it at 3. What Kiss songs if he did 12 on his next album, which if in 3 of them are Kiss songs, what should the other songs be? We'll probably do a panel on that. That would be really cool if we did something like that. Darklight says, yes, Emily, wonder what part Ace wrote on Flaming Youth. Yeah, because he's credited, and you don't really know what he wrote. Fire and Water ties in with Cold Gin. All hail to Paul. Kiss off for the inspiration. So Fire and Water is, like I said, it's one of those songs that's I don't really like the song, but I do like the performance of Ace and Paul together. All right. So let's go over we got a few more minutes left. So that basically the top blah blah. Did you hear me? I just had a stroke. Number 1 is Fire and Water. Number 2 is Parasite. Number 3, Cold Gin. Number 4, Rock and Roll Hell. Number 5, White Room. And I already talked about the other parts earlier. Let's talk about the suggestions that you guys had, because I got a couple that I want to kind of discuss a little bit, because there's some interesting suggestions. Future Squash suggested that we do as a panel a track versus track. It'd be 80. Remember, I told you I was going to start doing 80s track versus tracks. He suggested we do Shout at the Devil versus Theater of Pain. And that kind of made me think, I started looking at Motley Crue's discography. And Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Theater of Pain, and Girls, Girls, Girls all have 10 tracks. 10 tracks each. So that made me start thinking. I'm not going to do a track versus track versus track versus track like we did with the solo albums. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an elimination. I think I'm going to start off with Too Fast for Love against Shout at the Devil. And then whoever wins that could go against Theater of Pain. And whoever wins that could go against Girls, Girls, Girls. That is my thought process, and that would be about 3 videos or so, 3 or 4 videos. And so we may just have a series where we're doing Motley Crue for the 80s, and it take us, we get the polls out there quick and have a video every week. So we will see how that works out. Les Wadley suggested that we do a panel has spoken for Ozzy, Bark at the Moon. And I've actually thought about doing some panels has spokens and also doing some track versus track against Ozzy's albums like Ultimate Sin against Bark at the Moon. I'm not looking at the discography to see what tracks numbers match up, but that's probably how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to do Ozzy in a track versus track style manner too, if I can find good albums that match up against each other track wise. Because that way we're doing 2 albums at the same time, and we're talking about 2 albums at the same time. This was a really good idea. Dwight Jr. 88 suggested that I put a poll out for it would only be 4 songs. Your favorite from the 70s era. Your favorite song from each of the original members. Favorite song from Ace, favorite song from Paul, favorite song from Gene, favorite song from Peter. And it go from the first Kiss album through Dynasty. I think that is a great idea. So we're probably going to do that. Jamie Dodger wants me to review Kiss Icons. I have never even heard Kiss Icons. So I may do that just because. And so you guys know the last suggestion is one that we've already talked about. These are some good suggestions, Em. Emily says lots of good stuff. It's some good suggestions. I love it when you guys give suggestions in, because I'm thinking about stuff and I'll have my little list and then I'll read these suggestions and I'm like, oh, I like that a lot better. Let's do that. So I do listen to you guys. The next thing that we're doing Kiss-wise, you have until, I put a post about it today, you have until the end of Friday, the 16th, to get in your list of all the Kiss albums, like 36 albums, listed in order. and I've gotten in like 52 or 53 entries. And so it'd be good to get some more. I want to get some more. So if you're listening to this and it's not past the 16th, if you've not done that list yet, go to my YouTube and click on that to do that Survey Monkey to put the albums in the order that you want to put it in, and get that done before the end of Friday, the 16th. After that, what I'm going to do is, we've already talked about it, but the next thing that we're going to do KISS-wise, for track versus track, is we're going to put a live up against the live 2. Many people have suggested, I've done it over the last year or so, and John B. Good was the one that suggested it. John B. Good was the one that suggested that I do it. And the way I'm going to do it is, a live is 15 tracks. A live 2 is 20 tracks. No, a live is 16 tracks. A live 2 is 20 tracks, but there's only 15 live tracks. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put, for the 16th track, we're going to put Dwight Jr. 88 is you on Twitter. Okay, Dwight, that's cool. We're going to put for the last track, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, on a live. It is going to go up against Rocket Ride on a live 2. So of the 4 studio tracks, I'm going to use 1. I'm going to use Rocket Ride. And Rocket Ride will go up against Let Me Go Rock and Roll. And so it'll be 16 tracks against 16 tracks. And that will be the next thing that we will do after the ranking of the KISS albums. Now, the next KISS solo album that we're going to do is Spaceman. So the next Ace Frehley, that'll be going up soon for you to vote on. You have about a week or so to vote. You'll have a week or so to vote on it once it comes up. And it'll be a live Wednesday results, just like this is. So we are going to do that next. Spaceman, be looking for that post to come up. And then you can go and you can vote on that. All right. That is all I've got. We got a few more minutes. Like I said, if you are part of my Twitter, not my Twitter, if you're part of my Patreon, there is a link on the Patreon for members, Patreon members. There's a link for you to go click on if you want to be in the after show that I'll do after this. It's a special link. It's not part of this. And like I said, you can get in on that. You can become a member of my Patreon and for as little as $1 a month, $12 a year. And it just bills you every month. It bills you $1. And or if you want to, I think a couple of Patreons, they came in at $5. And the higher you come in, there's different levels. The higher you come in, the more stuff you get, the more interaction you get, the more like non-YouTube communication you get. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to have these, what they call after shows, after streams or after parties or whatever. It's not really a party. It's just a hangout, like an after hangout. 10, 15, 20 minutes or so, 30-minute max, because I don't want to go too long and too late. That's a Patreon exclusive thing. And we also, on the Friday, the 23rd of this month, over on Patreon, we're going to have a private viewing of the Tom Snyder show. And we're just going to hang out, and I'm going to be showing Tom Snyder, and we're going to talk about it. You'll be able to chat about it. If you want to have your webcam on and your microphone on, you'll be able to, I'll be able to see you and hear you too. And everybody else in the chat will be able to see you and hear you. And it'll just be us hanging out, just us KISS nerds hanging out, watching Tom Snyder. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do one a month, a different thing. One a month, the month of July, August, September, and October. And then I'll take a break in November, December, and then we'll start back up doing some private viewings. And I've got a bunch of things in mind to view. There's so many bootleg concerts out there that we can watch together. We can watch Phantom of the Park together. We can watch the Paul Lynn Christmas special together. We may do 2. We may have a long night, like a late night in October, to celebrate Phantom of the Park, on the anniversary of Phantom of the Park, and on the anniversary of Paul Lynn special, the Halloween special. We may have a private viewing of those. There may be 2 in there may be 2. We're on that. And so, if you want to get in on that, you can get in on that stuff for as little as $1 a month. And that just helps me out. It helps pay like the $300 a year I have to pay for the streaming software I'm using right now. And I'll be using for that too. And Darklight, this is cool. Thank you so much, man, for mentioning that. If you've not been paying attention to my Twitter, to my YouTube, the guys down in Rock Hill, South Carolina, that work on pinball machines and video games, they have been doing it's an 8-video series on fixing a 1979 KISS pinball machine. And they invited me to come down and help fix it. And then they invited me back down to help play it. I actually had to come down there 2 different times, because after I worked on it, I helped them replace some lights and do some stuff like that. Just stuff that's really hard to mess up, nothing too complicated. I helped them do that. And then they let me come back down and they let me play it. It was like a week later. I think it was, I went down there on the Thursday, and then I was out of town in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for a car show. And then when I came back, the Tuesday I came back, I did it. So it was less than a week's time. But they just released video number 7 today. Video number 8, where I'm actually playing it, is going to be released on Friday. And I'm trying to get another thing that Patreon subscribers get, is they get early access to videos. I'm trying to give them at least a day or 2 early access to people that's my Patreon members. I think Rex is one, and I really appreciate you, Rex. In my videos, I'm going to be posting people who are my Patreons to just show you an extra level of thank you for that. But he got to watch, he had the opportunity, I don't know if he actually did it, but he had the opportunity to watch the video of me fixing my video of fixing the lights. He got to see that about 2 days early. And I'm trying to get it finished up editing so they can actually see my video of me playing it tomorrow, a day early. So I'm trying to get that finished up editing tonight. I'm actually going to shoot the outro after I get done with my Hangout, and then I'm going to get that edited onto the end and go ahead and get it rendered so I can upload it tomorrow. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm trying to do for Patreon, because if you guys are going to actually pay me for extra stuff and help me pay for the software and for the microphones and for the cameras and stuff like that, then I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you something back for that. So I really appreciate everybody. If you do that, you don't have to, but if you do that, that's great. And so I just want to let everybody know that I really appreciate it. Darklight, I appreciate you. He's probably already gone. Yep, everybody's just saying good night. KISS pinball videos were great. Check them out if you haven't. Thank you, Dwight. I appreciate that. And it's the name of the channel. You can get the links, but the name of the channel is Joe's Classic Video Games. If you just search Joe's Classic Video Games, be sure to like their videos and subscribe to them if you like watching people work on stuff like that. And and plus Ron's a character. I love him to death. He's so funny. He was so fun to work with. And just tell him that In My Head sent you, so he knows that, I sent you over there to check out the videos. And also, like I said earlier, be sure to go check out Click Tea Shop. Click Tea Shop is not going to be doing the Eric Carr merchandise much longer. The contract is ending with Eric Carr's family. So if you can't get this shirt anymore, it was an exclusive. And a lot of times their shirts that they do, and they say they're exclusive, they mean it. They're not blowing smoke up your butt. They are limited edition. And when they're gone, and you can't get this anymore. So don't ask them for it because you can't get it. So be sure. And I hope I'm not misspeaking. His name's Ed. If you purchase something under the comments, tell them Brant from In My Head sent you. That's not sponsored. They're not giving me any money or anything. He gave me a couple shirts to promote And back when it's been well over a couple years ago. And this shirt's a couple years old and it's in great shape. My Gene Simmons shirt that you see me wear all the time, and I'm wearing it in the video where I go down and I fix the lights in the pinball video. I'm wearing it then, and it just still works so great. So so just be sure to check them out if you're interested in Eric's shirts. And if you want to follow me on anything, if you don't follow me already, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. It's patreon.com/in-my-head. And of course, here on YouTube, you can check me out any there. Also, I try to post the same thing to everything. Sometimes because of the limitations of that social media platform, like Twitter, you can only post so many words. So I might have more words on YouTube or on Facebook. Instagram, a lot of times you can only post photos. You can't post links and things like that. So I'm always the heaviest. Where I'm the heaviest is on the on YouTube. And then there's Patreon exclusive stuff over on Patreon. So I hope everybody has a great evening and a great remainder of your week. Thank you so much for everybody coming out and your continued support. And I will see you on Friday, because on Friday, my video is going to be, my video of me playing it is going to be a live premiere. So it'll be coming up as soon as I can post it. Live premiere at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time for me playing the KISS pinball machine down at Joe's Classic Arcade, down at Joe's Classic Video Games. So that will be on Friday at 8 p.m. So everybody have a great week, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later.